All right. Let's see if
we have to play our intro video.
Oh, we already started. I'm going to pull it up now.
Pull it up.
Bourbon Cat, how you doing?
Play that video.
Oh, hi,
play
Bourbon
intro
Cat.
vid.
Welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
I'm BJ. You're a little hot. You're coming in real hot.
Oh, my apologies. I'm just very excited to be here today.
How excited are you?
So excited!
Is that a bourbon bottle in your pants? Or are you just happy this is episode 69?
Wow, you went there. Welcome to... We're so immature. People watching this for the Old Forester review are like, what are these jamokes doing?
They're going, the Barrel Buddies.
Just get to the review. Get to the review. Well, you know how we do. We always give it a minute here. I know we're starting a few minutes late. We were enjoying a wonderful steak dinner, because what else is good with bourbon but a steak dinner?
I'd like to sincerely thank you for cooking a steak
OMG,
dinner.
look who literally, Bourbon Cat, leapt up.
She literally leapt into your hands, leapt into your arms.
Wow, welcome, Bourbon Cat, to the show.
What's up, Boo?
How you doing?
So for those of you that experienced our audio difficulties last week, we apologize. We were all over the map. We were all over the place. We're having audio difficulties. Yeah.
Which we believe we've resolved.
I mean,
we should be coming in good now.
Sounds like it.
Shelly, how you doing? And Ed Hatcher, how you doing, bud? How's it going?
What's up there, Ed?
Good to see you, Shelly. I hope all is well.
Shelly, welcome back. So we're continuing our theme on your weekly whiskey, wine, bourbon, and beer show about
New Year.
Old bourbon.
Old bourbon.
There's bourbon in those Amber Hills.
So, just a continuation. So, our plan is to go through the entire Old Forester series to what we can obtain, which, believe it or not, I think we have a lot of the Old Foresters. And first of all, I would like to do a redaction from last week's episode of a fumble that I had.
Oh, please, redact away.
So, under the influence and not paying attention, I kept confusing those old Fitzgerald glass decanters with Old Forester.
Yep, not the same thing. Right?
Not the same thing. And thank you all to the fellow bourbon crew for calling me out. Nobody called me out. I just rolled with it.
You rolled right along.
So, official redaction from James of the Barrel Buddies.
You're really geeking out there. So.
Yeah,
sorry. For those of you that are listening in, getting those peaks. Sorry.
Peaks and valleys.
We're going to pull them back just a little bit.
Pull it back. Anyway. We're rocking -1 tonight. Mr. Zach is not with us. Yeah. He better be watching the show. I'm going to tell you that much right now. The least he could do is jump in the chat and say, "I'm here, guys," in spirit.
Hey, Zach, could you jump in the chat and let us know that you're here?
How's that Omicron treating you, Zach?
Whoa. We tried to pull him up on video chat, but it said no vid.
Oh, no vid. Yes, vid, actually.
Or was it COVID?
Yeah.
I don't know. He hadn't done an update since 19, it said, anyways.
Wow. So back to what our lineup is with the Old Forester series. So for those that joined us last week, the 1890?
No, we did the 1870.
My apologies. 1870. So now, next in the series is the Old Forester 1897 Bottled in Bond.
And you might be asking yourselves, why the jump from 1870 to 1897? Well, I'll tell you. This is a commemoration bottle. So this is a commemoration bottle in their Whiskey Row series, which is what we are reviewing. We're reviewing the Whiskey Row series for our New Year Old Bourbon series. And this commemorates when the Bottled in Bond Declaration, Bonded Whiskey Declaration, came out here in America. And what that declaration says, it said that you had to have a quality bourbon in a bonded warehouse under government watch, aged no less than 4 years, to give you a quality
produced
spirit.
by a single distiller.
Yeah, produced by a single distiller.
Federally bonded warehouse.
Yeah. Under government
and
supervision.
Bottled at 50% ABV.
That's right, 50% or better. But they all kind of stick around.
So you got to remember too, like before this Bottled in Bond Act was passed, it was literally the Wild West out there.
It literally was.
Anybody on the street could, pour liquid in a bottle and call it bourbon, call it whiskey.
Hey, if it was brown, it flushed it down.
Going to Browntown. Like, wait a minute.
This episode 69 is getting off the rails.
Exactly. So, but yeah, what are they? It could be adulterated, tainted, diluted, colored.
Really going into that. 69
So the government intervened and created the Bottled in Bond Act.
It sure did. And so what we have here tonight is a bottle that commemorates that. And again, Old Forester, they're laying claim to the first bottled bourbon in America, their first bottled bourbon.
Well, Jamba's really digging the bottle.
Hey, what's up, Jamba?
Yeah, she's like smelling the bottle and everything. What is this? Look at
that. So here on this beautiful green labeled bottle, it says here, originally produced on Louisville's Whiskey Row, this whiskey embraces the definition of the Act introduced in 1897, which inspired higher quality standards for the spirit industry. It's 100 proof, 50% alcohol out of the bottle. This whiskey is distilled by us only, and we are responsible for its richness and fine quality. Its elegant flavor is solely due to the original fineness developed with care. There's nothing better in the market.
Jackie Black, how you doing? Jackie Black says, 2 guys and a cat? Question. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah. 2 guys and a cat, look it up.
2 guys in the bourbon cat. Oh, good pop. It was a great cork pop there.
Ooh. And then I gotta wreck it with my ring tap.
Oh, and even a good glug out of that. Great sounding pour. We should start rating the sound of the pour.
You definitely should not. Again, we're not an ASMR.
Jamba is like super interested in what you're doing, and I don't even want her to go near it because I know the second she smells it, she'll run away.
Jamba, take a smell of this.
I will say this much: looking at your pour, there's quite the legs. You really got this like viscosity that's coming through.
Well,
Bourbon cat's giving a little sniff.
Getting in there for the sniff.
No, she's like, no, I'm over it.
Sniff.
No sniff.
No to the sniff. Just as a reminder,
no bourbon for you.
This is a much higher proof whiskey than what we were drinking and sampling and tasting last week.
Comes through on the nose. It's a bit more punchier on the nose, a bit more, some more oomph to it, right?
To be expected. So you're going to get a little bit more ethanol here. We should really let this air out a little bit. Nice copper color, real pretty in the bottle. I think the green was a good label compliment to this.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of the bottled in bonds go with that green. I don't know if that's another one of those requirements or if it's just good marketing. Dude, I can hear Jamba purring. That condenser mic is picking her up. Yeah, it's happening.
No, she's like the purr train tonight.
Interesting. Okay, I'm digging this nose. I like this.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting like a major banana. Like it's very, very reminiscent of Jack Daniels to me.
Well,
like on the nose.
Funny you should mention that. As we mentioned last week, and as I will remind you again this week, this is a Brown-Forman product, which is also who creates Jack Daniels. Brown-Forman is known for a banana nose, a very prevalent banana.
Banana vanilla. Digging the nose.
Yeah, and so I get banana vanilla, and then this like punchy, almost minty.
Yeah, get a little bit of herb,
right?
Like herbs.
It's punchy, it's spiky,
but it's faint. I think banana is really
pleasant.
Big banana boom.
It's almost like Bananas Foster with like a sprig of mint.
All right. Digging it. Well, cheers.
Cheers to you and cheers to you.
Cheers, friends. Yeah, tell us what you're drinking out there. If any of you are joining a pour or joining us with a pour tonight, let us know what you guys are drinking. Patrick Curry, how's it going, bud? Welcome to the show.
So typically, if you watch the show, if you're a first-time watcher, welcome. If you've watched the show before, you know I'm not usually a big bottled and bond guy.
Me too.
I don't typically like bottled and bond whiskeys.
Why is that?
There's something about 50% that for me is not a magic number. To me, it has a very harsh, grating ethanol alcohol flavor And that first sip, as it is a shock to the palate, this is like, it's like sandpaper on the soul.
I'm with you. And here's what I have to add to that. That nose was very deceiving because the taste does not, in my opinion, does not match up with the nose. So I'm getting, the taste is very spicy. It's a spicy drinker. And
I mean it's oaky, and it should be oaky. It's got some oak, a lot of big oak character.
And you guys know that I don't dig oak.
But you know what? Here's what I like about it. I've only had my second sip. It's got a good finish. The finish, so while it's pretty pointed oak and spice, I think that there is like a dark caramelized fruit character. The finish does lend itself to more of like a creamy vanilla caramel finish. I don't get that spice on the back of the throat. It's not a spicy finish.
So again, we talk about the 3-sip rule, right? So again, we always like to tell everybody, you got to give something 3 sips. Give it 3 sips, because what happens is your palate has to get accustomed to what you're drinking, right? We're not used to really drinking, almost rubbing alcohol level here. So what you do is you take that first sip. It's going to be that shock to the palate. That second sip, you're going to start getting some more flavors. It won't be that of a hit to your senses. And then by that third sip, you're really getting in there, and you're going to start getting some of the true flavors. And also your hand during that whole time is warming up the glass too. You're getting some more evaporation of the alcohol. And as this is opened up, that spice is definitely fading, and I am getting some of those notes that you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually really liking some of these caramely. It is fruit forward. It's almost like so this is going to sound weird. An under-ripened fruit flavor. You know how under-ripened fruit, under-ripened bananas, under-ripened tomatoes, under-ripened fruit has this like tangy tinge.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be like, oh, it's not ready yet. It's underripe. I get that in this. It's like green fruit.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, like a green apple, like a little bit of a, all right, but no apple.
I don't want to go.
Like
an
unripe fruit.
Like green apple is like Granny Smith, or
I say like an
lends itself to a
unripe pear, maybe a pear.
Sure, an unripe pear. I'm telling you, an unripe banana. When you get a hard green banana, you get that hard green banana on episode 69.
Just going out there to the chat, some fellow drinkers. We have Patrick Curry's drinking the Knob Creek Rye Pick, store pick. Okay.
Respectable. Very respectable. Just
I love Knob Creek, but I'm more of I like their bourbon. Give me that peanut brittle all night long. Ed says, unfortunately, he's stuck with vodka water tonight.
Hey, nothing wrong with vodka water.
Hey, I was a big Jack and Water guy for a long time. Long time.
If it's a vodka you like, keep drinking.
We have Carl Hungus out there. He must be a nihilist.
Carl Hungus.
Like a big green banana? Exactly.
Hungus humongous.
Straight from the nihilist. Says big green banana.
He doesn't care about anything. He's a nihilist.
What? Okay, so a little bit of Big Lebowski trivia. What was the name of the band Carl Hungus was in? Or the group? Anybody know?
Flaming Scissors? I don't know.
We'll give some people a minute to type it in if they know it.
Oh.
Love Big Lebowski. But that would be Autobahn. Like the Autobahn.
Hilarious.
It's Carl Hungus. A little pop culture trivia for you.
Thanks, Carl.
So, I'm going to be honest. I still get this spice that I don't like. It's tolerable. It's middle of the road. I give it a pass. Like, it's okay. Do I want to keep going to this? No. Would I throw this in an old-fashioned or a mixed drink? Hell yeah. I think
it's way too soft to be a mixed drink.
Really?
Way too soft. So as I've started, as this has opened up and I've really started drinking into it, the ethanol punch, that ethanol burn is not there.
No, I get no ethanol burn after a couple sips.
I think it's real soft.
Okay.
Real soft. This is a sipping whiskey.
And you're saying that softness is not good for a cocktail?
No, I think a good cocktail spirit, in my opinion, a good cocktail spirit is one that is very prevalent. No matter what you toss into it, you're going to know it's there. Like, a cocktail spirit should not be something that you are drowning. I know that was the point of original cocktails.
Yeah.
Was to hide what you were pouring in.
The bad taste of the alcohol.
Oh, God. That embalming fluid that we're drinking.
Right.
But I think today, with what mixologists are doing and what a good cocktailer, good
Bartendelieri.
I think that they can make a spirit shine. So it's just like, you wouldn't take a really good steak and hide it behind a bunch of steak seasoning. You wouldn't do that. You would take a really good product and you would mix it with things that complement and make that product stand up and stand out. And so this, I think, would get lost in a lot of things.
So you're saying I should not take an A5 Wagyu ribeye and turn it into a country fried steak?
I mean, I'm intrigued. I'd try it. It's not the first thing I'd tell you to do with it.
Carl Hungus says they believe in nothing. Yeah, he's the nihilist. And Ed says he's the dude.
I mean, that's just like your opinion.
Yes, exactly. Well, Ed, you're going to have to move from vodka water to White Russians if you're truly the dude.
Yeah.
What an awful drink, because I'm going to be honest with you. I've had a few nights where I've gone overboard with White Russians way back in the day. 20 years ago. And it is the worst because you get that headache. What are you fighting me? Because you're saying that it's okay to get blitzed off of White Russians?
Yeah, that's my bingo drink. When we go play bingo in Las Vegas, I drink White Russians until I can't remember to order.
You're a liar. You drink that other variant, and it's not called a White Russian. It's called like
Colorado Bulldog.
Exactly.
Where you take a White Russian and you add Pepsi.
Yuck.
And it's
disgusting.
delicious.
Disgusting.
That's what I do when I start to get really, really into it. When I've had a few too many, I go, oh, I need some bubbles. Hey, make me a Colorado Bulldog.
Like all that half and half, it's just like creamy and it's curdling in your stomach because of the alcohol.
Look, even
John was like, I can't do it. No Colorado Bulldog for me. She's like, get out of here. She's literally like, I'm done. I'm done with you guys.
All right, back to the whiskey. We got to get back into this.
Yeah.
So the more I drink this, the point is, the more I like it. I think this is good. I think putting this up against the 1870 we had last week, this is far superior.
Let's talk about price. So this was $50.
That's
$50.
That's good.
Like $51.99.
Yeah, that's
something
good.
like that.
I like it.
Could you is there something comparable? Like, is there something that you know of in a bottle and bond line that is of equal or better quality that could potentially be cheaper? Let's say it doesn't have to be $50. There's one that comes to my mind, which is why I want to.
Yeah, I have one that I highly recommend, but I don't think that we can get it anymore.
Oh, which is?
The Kirkland Bottled and Bond by Barton.
Yeah.
And I haven't had Barton 17.
You do the 1792 Bottled and Bond.
I would imagine it's got to be somewhat really similar, but I think that was, again, I'm throwing this back to 2021. If you go back to that show, we did try all three of the Kirkland, Barton, special Costco releases, and that Bottled and Bond was the best out of all three that were released. And I still stand by my statement, which was that's the best Bottled and Bond release that I've ever had. Of any Bottled and Bond whiskey.
Yeah.
That was the best.
So Ed's doing the keto thing right now, so he's stuck with vodka water. I'm going to tell you, Ed, a lot of whiskey, though. A lot of whiskey, especially higher proof, has very few carbs. I think you're looking at about a carb for a pour of a Bottled and Bond or higher ABV whiskey.
Check out Koval. Koval is, so they do some really cool stuff. If you didn't know, Koval whiskey out of Chicago was the very, very first kosher whiskey.
Okay.
And it is still today a kosher spirit. But they do a lot of cool stuff, a lot of low-carb stuff. So check out Koval next time you go to your friendly liquorist.
Yeah, but even, whiskey straight up, or even whiskey and diet is very low carb. I mean, if you're doing traditional keto, you're looking at like 20-ish carbs a day. So,
Hey, maybe he wants to spend those on bread.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to do that.
But, I don't know. Good for you, Ed. Good for you.
Yeah, well done. Carl Hungus out there. Lots of whey and lactose in the White Russian. I know who that Carl Hungus is.
I do too.
You know who that is.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Omicron. So...
You drinking well and feeling well? Carl?
Carl with a K? Communist Carl? Anyway.
Tommy Carl there.
I like... Here's my frame of reference to this bottle.
Yeah, well, same question to you. Can you think of something comparable? Or like that?
I'm thinking Evan Williams Bottled in Bond kind of comes to the top of my head when I want something that's comparable to this and kind of the same price point. I also would say Jack. I'll be honest with you. I would almost say...
Do they do a Bottled in Bond?
No. They do, but what I'm saying is, do they? They have to do a Bottled in Bond.
I don't know. I asked you that question, and you had to go. Well, what I'm saying is...
I thought that they did.
Oh.
No, I think they do. They definitely do. It's the
so
100
this
proof.
dead time is doing wonders.
No. They do it. It's looks like $60. They do 100 proof. It's in a gold.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How have we never had this?
Bottle and Bond. They did definitely have it. Tennessee whiskey.
Interesting. We should probably get into that.
Yeah, we'll have to give that a shot. And it looks like that's like $50 a bottle. So, you're kind of looking at, that $50 price range, right?
Well, I think for something that is Kentucky bourbon, something that is from Whiskey Row in Louisville. Yeah, Barton's got it.
I'm going to fight you. I think this would be pleasant in a cocktail. I'm going to disagree with your statement earlier.
Well, we do have a show coming up where we're going to put those words to the test.
Yeah.
We're going to put those words to the test.
I would like this in an old-fashioned. I think that there's enough oak and spice that if you threw in some bitters and some citrus, you'd have a real winner. I think this would shine. Personal opinion. I would use it for a mixer.
There's an old-fashioned off that's coming. And it's going to say that 1897 will not score well in that. I'm just saying. All right, so we've talked about price. You said price on this was what? $50?
$51. So let's talk about accessibility. Thankfully, easy to get. So the Old Forester, most of their main line, I'd say like the 6 different years, 1870, then this one, the 97, 1910, 1920, Statesman. Well, Statesman's probably not as easy to find, but...
That's because people lose their ish about it.
People lose their ish over birthday bourbon.
No, but people do lose it over Statesman.
Surprising.
That's
I haven't had it, so I don't know. I don't know
what
to
to
tell you on that one.
That's another show. And
I don't know if it's like, one of those gimmicks because of the movie.
Yes.
Because of Kingsman.
Yeah, that's where it came from, right? Kingsman 2.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, check it out. We can capitalize. Listen, I've had Statesman. It's not bad. Chris is watching the show, and I know that Chris has very generously allowed us to pour into the Statesman bottle he bought. And it's good. It's good, but I don't think it's enough that people, when they see it on the shelves, that they should go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and be stocking their carts up with it. Yeah. It's good if you want to pick it up and it's available. Yeah, grab a bottle. But I've seen people who grab 4 or 5 bottles at a time. And they're like, hey, did you guys see they got Statesman out right now? Whoa.
Typical tater.
And I'm like, whoa, guys, it's just Old Forester Statesman.
So this is, I would say, readily accessible at most liquor stores. You're not going to find this at your convenience stores, but, make that journey. Go to your Lee's, your Total Wine, your Specs, your ABC, your liquor outlet, your Total Wine. Okay, that's enough.
Okay, so let's get into no's here. Let's get some.
I was just asked why do I know BJ's bingo drink was asked by Miss Saskins. Oh, I know that wretched drink. When it was handed to me and I was told to drink.
It's not exactly.
Yeah, you're like, drink this. I'm like, what is this? And I smelled it. I'm like, it smells weird and it looks a little curled.
Well, and it really foams. I mean, when you had the Pepsi to that White Russian, It really foams up, and it like all the foam is like coming over the side like a bad.
What is it called? British Bulldog?
A Colorado.
Bulldog.
Here's the best part. So we're at bingo.
Yeah.
We've been out gambling and drinking.
Yep.
And drinking and drinking. And I finally was like, "Hey James, you know what we should do?
Go play bingo.
We're gonna catch the 7 o'clock session at bingo. Yeah, let's go do it. We're gonna catch the 7 o'clock session because in Vegas." If you're a local or you've been to Vegas, then you should know that you can catch it
a lot of bingo.
Odd hours.
A lot of bingo. Almost
5,
24 hours
7,
a day.
9,
You
11,
1,
3, back to 5.
Yeah, back to 5, yeah.
Catch it on the odd hours. I was like, come on, we can go catch value bingo at 7. And we go up and he's like, all right, I got bar drinks. What are you having? And I said, Colorado Bulldog.
And immediately I'm like, they don't know what that is. They cannot make that. They're not making that. What is that? And you're like, trust me, just order it.
Just order it. And he's like,
order it.
No, I'm not ordering that. I'm not going to order that. That is a fake drink. They're going to like throw something in my face. They're going to kick me out. It's like some code. I'm like, it's not a code.
She didn't even question it, the server.
Didn't even blink. She went,
whipped it up. You got it. Yeah.
Handed him a White Russian with Pepsi. And he couldn't believe that it actually came out.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, fun story. Just to put a cherry on top of that.
Yes.
I learned about that drink from bingo. Because I do always drink a White Russian at bingo.
Yeah.
And I remember asking the bartender, I was going back for like a second or third round, and she's like, you ever try a Colorado Bulldog, honey? I think you'll like it a little better. And plus, it gives you little bubbles. And I was like, Colorado Bulldog? No, that sounds gross. What is it? She's like, oh, it's a White Russian with Pepsi. I was like, that is definitely gross. Yes, make me 2 of those. And I have been hooked ever since. It is delightful.
So for those that are just joining us for the first time, our rating system is as follows. We judge on 3 categories. We judge on the nose, we judge on the taste, and the value. We rate those 1 to 3, each of those categories, with a potential...
we rate them 0.
0 to 3, with a potential 1 point, which we give to our blown away bonus, for a total of 10 points. And let's jump right into the nose.
I'm very proud of you for your great explanations tonight. You've talked about the 3 sips, the scoring session. You've hit a lot of things today.
Yeah, we have.
Good for you for being the responsible guy tonight.
It's great. So let's jump right into the nose. I'm going to defer to you as you are taking the nose in right now. So what do you give that?
I like this nose. This nose is pleasant, and I think upon my first sniff, I wouldn't have said that. But as it's opened up, as it's sat, as it's gotten a little air and some oxygen, which does make a difference, I get some really pleasant tones of maple syrup. I'm getting some really pleasant tones, again, of like, you said bananas earlier, but I'm like that maple syrup maybe goes into like some banana Fosters, even some Cherries Jubilee. Maybe that's where I'm mixing it up. Like, it's interesting. It's like a flambéed alcohol.
Bananas Foster.
Where it's like the sugars and the alcohols they've really torched, right? In a pleasant way.
Okay.
I like this nose. I find it to be really, really intriguing. I think there's a lot there. I think this is a nose that we could sit and really get into for long periods of time. It keeps me coming back. There's great hints of thick, deep, viscous.
Thick boy.
That thick, deep, viscous. Brown sugars.
And then...
I'm going to give this nose a score of 3.
Wow.
I think it's great. I think this nose is great.
Bravo.
I agree with you, going back to something earlier, that this nose is deceiving.
It is.
But it's very good.
Okay. I am torn. Not between a 3 is not a consideration for me. I'm torn between a 1.5 and a 2.
Okay.
I think that I don't like that deception. So the nose is not close to the taste.
Just be like, it's the nose. We're scoring just the nose.
That's fair.
Cut everything away. The nose by itself.
It's a lot of spice and oak, and you guys know I don't like that. But then I get that banana. I get like a little of the banana.
There is,
and
there is a spiciness
Christmas.
at the front, but you know what? That spice is only at the front. it gives way to a lot of good stuff. That nose gives way to a lot of good stuff. Just the nose.
I'll give it a 2 on the nose, but I'm not feeling good about that. I almost want to say 175.
Why don't you feel good about it?
I think it's just very one-sided. I think that the spice kind of dominates over any subtleties. It's very just, you get one really big spice bomb, and that's it.
How much have you been hanging out with Zach? Is your taster working okay?
No. I'm not getting a lot of these other... It's strange. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I'll stick with the 2, but I'm not super excited about it or thrilled. So
something tells me whatever goodness you gave it in the nose, you're going to make up for as we move on. So start us on the taste.
I will start on the taste.
Action.
So let's go in for one last sip here. I will say this much. It's a pleasant drinker. Okay, regardless of the taste, it's not offensive. We've had some stuff in all the shows that we've been doing where we've had some really bad whiskeys.
Wretched.
This is at that point where you're at the cusp at the 50% ABV to where you're getting hot, starting to turn into a heavy hitter, but that ethanol, the alcohol, is not super strong, which is good. I'll say this much. I still think a lot of the nose comes through. It's spicy, but it does have some, a little bit of caramel.
So mash bill, we hadn't mentioned mash bill. So while you finish your thoughts there, 72% corn, 18% rye, and the rest is malted barley. That's 10%.
I'm going to give it a 2. I'll give it a 2 on the taste.
I think that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 2 as well. I think that the taste is a little lackluster. That green fruit is interesting, but not necessarily good.
I know what you mean. I'm getting that. Like, now that you mentioned the green, unripe fruit.
Underripened tomato. It's unripe.
Oh, what do you think, Bourbon Cat? What do you think?
But I do like... So there's some nice honey. There's a good honey element there. It is very spicy oak. Very spice oak on the front. It does give way to a sweet, almost caramely... like a sweet caramely finish. And the finish is pretty long-lasting. I give it a medium-lasting finish. When I say long-lasting, longer than most. But I would really give it a medium finish. And it, like, maybe you'll understand this, maybe the audience will understand this. This honeyed oak, like when you look at honeyed oak or think of honey nut oak Cheerios.
Honey nut oak. That's a hell of a label, like a store pick label. Honey nut Cheerios. Someone's gonna steal it if it's not already made.
Mary, you gotta Mary, can you please steal that? Honey nut Cheerios.
Shout out to Whiskey Slickers. There's been some old elk that I've had that's been very reminiscent of that cereal. It's like taste. I love that.
The best thing I can tell you is like
oats
really
and
well seasoned wood cabinets,
cornflakes,
in the kitchen where you're like, this is pleasant and sweet and full of good memories, but they're it's wood. It's like seasoned wood.
Yeah,
and it's not bad. It's just not my favorite. I do like the spice elements, and I do like that harsh bite. I like the bite. Oh. What would this be without a little bite?
She's ready. She's ready to get right on your lap.
No, she's sticking with you. So that's a 2. Before we head into our scores here, I have to give a shout out to two of our long supporters here.
Please do.
The first, of course, is I have to give a shout out to Uncle Richard.
Uncle Richard.
Castillo Funeral Homes. We have not talked about Castillo Funeral Homes.
I know.
Putting the fun back in
They put the fun in funeral in Toledo, Ohio.
So thank you, Castillo Funeral Homes.
For your support.
We appreciate your support. We'd also like to give a shout out to a quiet supporter and partner.
Yeah.
Toe Hold Flip Flops.
All right.
The dopest flip flops you've ever had. Check them out on Instagram at Toe Hold Flip Flops. These are custom flip flops. You will never get a cooler pair of flip-flops in the world. And I'm talking about ethically sourced, very ethnic, very exotic.
Well, yeah, I can get a Stingray
You can get
flip-flops.
Stingray.
That's what I want.
I ended up getting a
Stingray.
pair of very ethically sourced gray elephant.
What does that mean? Do they wait for him to die and then they...
Yeah, so in like the reserves.
Ah, okay.
And then they will go and before they dispose of anything, they will take a certain amount. And the other cool thing is that they buy all of that string, all of the nylon that goes in between your toes. That is,
Got it.
They pay a guy to go fish that out of the ocean.
Wow, great. Going to the chat here, move back on to whiskey. Perry says that's a hell of a whiskey collection you have there, sir. Well, thank you, Perry. Hopefully, Perry, we have you on the show soon, by the way.
Nice.
We'll bring you over here to the Casa.
That's Perry, of the host and owner of the Aristocrat Lounge and Hash Bar.
Love it. So, value. What do you give value coming in at 50 bucks, 50 bones?
It's a 2. It's exactly where I'd expect it to be. I mean,
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a Whiskey Row series. I think they're cleaning that up on the marketing side. But this is a bottled and bond whiskey. $50, 50%. It's an Old Forester. It's not hard to get. It's nice, but it's going to complement a growing collection. But this isn't something that it's like you're going to go out and search for. It's something you really going to want. It's a 2.
I agree. I'm with you with the 2. I also give it a 2. I think this is a unoffensive, middle of the road, sipping whiskey, a great starter. I think this is the next step up. You can intro somebody with, a little bit of a lower ABV and then go right into this and kind of start bringing them into that like upper 50s and 60s, get them into that, barrel proof. This is a good segue into that.
Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is great. I'd introduce people to this.
Again, there's nothing that's like, bleh, like that ethanol retch or like some smell that's throwing me off. This is just like, okay.
It's super chill.
Yeah, I like that. It's a super chill bourbon.
This is super chill.
Yeah.
I like it.
And it makes sense. I mean, think about this. It's been around since what?
1897. You do the math.
They must be doing something right.
You do the math. All right, final scores. That puts me at a 7 out of 10. No blown away bonus. That's a go-getter in my book.
6 out of 10. No blown away bonus. For me, I'm the harshest critic here. I feel, and that's a respectable score. Do I say run out there and get it? I mean, if it's there, if you see it on the shelf, get it. I mean, $50. It's kind of at that tipping point where, is it that Payday Friday bottle? Maybe. I can't really tell you yay or nay on that. It's up to you guys to decide that. Usually I'm pretty polarized on that question, and I'll be like, hell yeah or hell no. This I'm just kind of, again, middle of the road. Like, yeah, if it's there and you want to try something new and it's different, but not that different, right? It's just new. It's something different. Well, yeah, it's something different.
Something different.
It's
yeah,
something different.
I mean, it's been around for a little bit.
But not in a weird way.
I like it. This is good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
It's almost like I'm thinking just like I don't know, like an Oreo cookie. You go down the cookie aisle, the grocery store, and you see Oreos. They're like a tried and true classic.
But you always buy the store brand
Hydrox.
The Hydrox duplex cookie.
You don't.
Yeah, you do.
What do you save 50 cents by buying the garbage?
Yeah, but you save 50 cents, but you gain 50% more.
Wow, get the Oreos.
You get like 3 stacks that are twice as big as the Oreos.
I want to start including maybe a food item that we pair moving forward with whiskey.
This is very back of the business here.
You don't think we should start doing that? Maybe start bringing on like hashtag corporate sponsorships like Hayden Nabisco.
Hey, Hydrox cookies. We really
Yeah,
want to feature the Hydrox.
that's what I mean. Think about
Hydrox duplex cookie. The one side that's vanilla and the other side that's chocolate.
Yeah.
By chocolate, we mean it's the dark brown black color that doesn't taste like chocolate.
No,
We think it does.
Dirt.
It's dirt and not dirt. And then stale cream. Hydrox cookies. Yeah.
Anyway, I think that kind of wraps up the show. Do you want to talk a little bit about what we have over the next couple of weeks?
So we're going to continue the New Year Old Bourbon series with the Whiskey Row series. Next week we've got 1910, my personal favorite in this series.
I don't remember having it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, I'm real excited about it. And then the week following is the 1920 Prohibition release, which is a throwback to Prohibition release whiskeys. Remember what we say about Prohibition whiskeys, though. You had to mix them because they were gross.
Yeah.
This is much better than that. This is a nice throwback to a pleasant whiskey. I think the next two are going to be really, really nice.
Okay.
And then in February, we're going to do a blind tasting of all four of what we've had here up against each other.
And put them in our own personal favorite order.
Put them in a personal favorite order. And then of those favorites that we have, we're going to bring you the week of Valentine's, a cocktail show where each of us are going to bring a cocktail for Valentine's.
Yep.
Using our favorite Whiskey Row series, Bourbon, and that's going to wrap up a 6-week series.
Wow.
On Old Forester. So hey, Old Forester, we're really giving you the love here. 6 weeks of our year here, and we're going to be featuring all on you. And then after that, who knows? We might pepper in some Old Foe the rest of the year. There's some really good stuff out there.
Yeah, there's some other stuff. I mean, I'm not going to break open a birthday bourbon. I mean, it's a $1,000 bottle right now.
We might break open a birthday bourbon aged Bourbon County.
Or could we? I don't know. Maybe we can talk to somebody we might know in the bartending industry that could hook us up again.
Maybe.
We'll see.
One will check.
One will check.
All right. Well, for the Barrel Buddies,
I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Until next week, folks, we will see you then.
Do you want to do Zach's sign off, or we just don't do it when he's not here?
Drink well, be well.
Oh, that was a good Zach impression. You should do the wink.